Hello, friends. Host Eric here, host of Talking with Spanish People. I'm here. I'm ready to A some cues. If anybody has any cues, I'm fairly tired, but I don't have the energy for anything else besides this. This seems pleasant enough. I need to do a lot of room arranging stuff like that, but my nap was cut short today, and I'm just not feeling super juiced. Uh, I miss Rachel. I Am I me this evening? I'm always me. I'm as me as I can be. As me as I can be. Which is to say, I'm in one of my varying states of being. I would call my current state of being um, 3/5 uncertainty, 2/5 harumph. I got a little bit of harumph in me. Also, I feel kind of like not sure how I feel. Ah, my beautiful, beautiful special potato pants. Hello, Rachel. Nice to have you here. Makes you feel better a little bit. Some people in the other video thought I was INFJ. Well, my FE is way too needy to be INFJ. You are not an INFJ. Isaiah Rude. So yeah, I miss Rachel. I also, I'm just tired. I need to get like a full like crashy sleep. So the only question I've gotten so far in the community Q&A is, how are you this evening? I would say passable. Not in any dramatic discomfort. Some more meow than perhaps I would ideally like to see in the mix. I'm not sure about just no, I was saying, when I'm talking about my feelings right now, 3/5 unsure what they are, and 2/5 yeah. What? I'm not special. I don't know what I'm not special is. What kind of splurges should Shirley Shroomy Shrunken Channels turn at the Champagne Shebang? Good question. That's a good question. Oh, you're so strange? Is it about you? Or is it about me? Or what? I don't even know what you're talking about. My SI is shitty as hell. Who was I singing it to? You did find all those. The song. The last song I posted? What was the last song I posted? How should any dumb learn guitar and write music? Well, you should learn. Oh, that. You're talking about Creep, Radiohead Creep. Yes. I added some lyrics to it. That's true. You have McDonald's drink too. Good job. I found bacon. McDonald's cheers. Cheers. Um so how should any dumb learn guitar and write music? The answer to that is you should basically start with one note and you start singing, you know? Like you start with just an open note. Go like that, you know? Come up with some singing to put over it. Come up with some singing, change to a different string. You know, like that kind of stuff. And then eventually you should add a little bit of, you know, these chords are always easy to do. These, just to your finger here on this string, and the finger on this one, you kind of mute a little bit. You can go like. My name's Isaiah Root, and I'm learning to play guitar the right way. Guitar the right way. Not being trained in stupid ass scales. 'Cause scales are dumb. Super dumb. They're not fun. Yeah, scales are super dumb. Everybody knows that. Scales are dumb. No, scales are dumb. Scales are for fish. Sarah ISFP, we have missed you too. I mean, I don't know how to read or write music, really. Technically, I could. It would be so slow to read. I can't sight read for shit. I mean, I know how to like write down the chord name, you know, like A or something, A minor. But I don't know how to write it down on sheet music. I mean, I could, but it'd take a long time. My music theory is weak and totally out of practice. I never think in terms of music theory. You've been busy moving, getting my knife into order. Also might be ESFP, life. Well, you know, that makes more sense than Kaif. It does. But I thought you were getting your Kaif into order. I wasn't sure what you were doing. Does she mean Keef? Does she mean knife? Look, everybody, I'm smoking in the house. Now remember, this is a community Q&A. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for queuing so I can A. You're the best. That's why you're the best girlfriend ever. What are some differences between ISFP and ESFP? Well, ISFP only spazzes out occasionally. ESFP spazzes out more frequently. I struggle with doing the required material before I get into the content of what I want to do. I'd rather skip the tutorial and figure stuff out as I go along, so music education never work for me. Noah McFarland, that's a little something that I call pre-work. I, too, am a mortal enemy of pre-work. I want to dive right into the thing. I don't want to have to set up the camera and set up the meow. Isaiah Rude, are you pulling a reverse Eric? Rachel, you see this shit? Isaiah Rude's pulling a reverse Eric. Do you see this shit, Rachel? That's good. Good job. Apparently you guys like each other or what? Are you guys buttering each other's biscuits? What function do you think would best host its pre-work? Now, TE DOMs are all about finding out what the pre-work is. They're all about that. They're all about now, like today, right? I took my car. I did the appalling thing of going to get my car fixed without consulting my dad about it. Unsurprisingly, it went bad. So I took it to Firestone, which is the place he normally does to take the car. And they called and they said, "Oh, we can't we can't fix it. It's a mini thing. You have to take to a mini specialist." So I took it to mini. So at that point, I said, "Dad, can you take me to go get my car from the Firestone? They can't fix it." And he just dove right in to, "Oh, hooray, I get to take over this problem now." And he called his old mini person who sounds TE Polar found bacon. Mental mass didn't really be a problem for TE Polar necessarily. And so I took the mini in, and you know what the problem was? Kind of embarrassing. I had the oil cap I put the oil cap back on wrong, and there's a sensor inside the mini that it needs a vacuum or something. And anyway, so took the mini dealer. That was the mini repair guy. That was the problem. He said, "Well, your battery is kind of getting old, probably replaced it." I was like, "Oh, that's only $200." But my dad just was like, "Oh, yeah, just for the replace it, I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it." Okay. I had to replace it. Because he's thinking about a year from now. I'm not. TE Polar. All right, Isaiah, here's what I want you to do to explain TE Polar to Rachel. Acquire something that requires assembly, and then tell her to put it together. See how she does. I feel like subtypes are bullshit. There's no reason for subtypes. There just isn't. There's a mechanical reason for typing. In other words, if my dominant nature is to interface socially, say I'm a FE dom, in order to be able to interface socially, I have to sort of have this unconscious actual problem solving that serves my social interface, so that when it's not enough to schmooze, then I actually have to show that I can get shit done and figure out how to get shit done. In contrast, when it's a tool function, FE and tool function, a TE is polar, because instead their dominant nature is, let's say, NI, which means they've got SI in the 8th slot. There's a logical reason for this. So, and it is for all the types. It's like, to be one thing necessarily means certain relationships with other things. In other words, if I am an extroverted intuition dominant, that means I have to have 5th slot NI, because it's the currency in which the extroverted intuition deals. It treats it as a currency almost, that it doesn't recognize it as a modality of attention almost. It sees it as a value and sees it as something that one can recognize, but it doesn't see it as the response. It doesn't see one's own attention as responsible for it, basically. Well, Rachel Richello, TE polar, it also has to do with not understanding interest-based calculi. So part of having FE in the 2nd slot is to always be understanding the dynamics of things through how people are feeling and their perceptions and stuff like that. Because of that, if people are talking about interest-based calculi, like if you think that somebody's using another person as a means to an end, like you're just treating him as a cog in your plan rather than respecting the fact that that person has their own way that they want to do things, that's going to bother you. I don't have a ton of examples of Rachel's TE polar, because she basically didn't try to do anything that requires a lot of TE. I have examples from my last relationship of TE polar, when one time Kimberly decided to take it upon herself to put together this garden arch thing, and she used like a fifth of the total screws, maybe. It was just the most rickety, fall apart thing I've ever seen in my life. So, for an FE tool user, if the thing works okay, it doesn't matter if it's put together properly, as long as it works okay and it looks okay. If it doesn't look okay, then it doesn't matter if it is put together properly. Do you think people mistake INFJ and INFP because both have TE and SE in weaker positions 4th and 7th? It's easier to mistake SE 4th for SE 7th than it is to mistake SE 7th for SE 8th. Because, it's like SE, it's like, yeah, it's easy to mistake the 4 and 7 for each other sometimes. But the thing is, the difference is the 4 defines the 8, or the 1 defines the 8, however you want to look at it. And the 8's not easy to mistake. So it's like, SI 8th is very different than Then SI third. You're going to go with shy ESFP. Okay. There are not really a lot of super shy ESFPs, but there are some who aren't very gregarious. That's certainly true. Can people change types? If not, why? Is it true the type becomes more balanced with age, or is that all displayed? Can people change type? No. And the reason they can't change type is because personality is defined as those aspects of the self that remain constant over time. And in fact, if I were to change my type, I'd be literally a different human being than I am. It just it would have to, the only way you could potentially change your type is through substantial damage, like brain damage or extreme trauma, things like that. And then you wouldn't really be changing your type. You'd just be an extremely damaged version of that type. NI8 is annoying, frankly, because NI8 always serves SI, which means if you want to talk about a stubborn motherfucker, you're looking at your ISFJs or your ISTJs, depending on, but ISFJs can have more experience with them being stubborn. Royal Peasant says types most likely to be serial killers. ENFJ, ENTJ, ESTJ, ESFJ. I'm going to say it's the four knowledge polars who are the most likely to be serial killers, actually. I'd say ENFJ is by far the most likely. It's the absence of knowledge. The thing is, to kill is to know the horror of being a killer. One way or another. Either experientially, you have to carry that with you all the time, or truth-wise. You got to carry that truth with you all the time. If you're polar in one of those two things, then you're blind enough to think that it's going to be okay. Like, here's the thing about being a polar FI person myself. When I was a kid, I used to try to shoot birds with my wrist rocket. And when I finally hit one, I burst into tears. I was very sad. And I never shot another bird. So polar FI is not something that makes you cruel in any sense or want to kill. It is instead something that makes you not value what you should value long enough. Regarding the other part of that question, hi guys. Do they become more balanced with age? Well, I think people either become more or less optimized with age. For some types, optimization is more of the natural process. For some types, de-optimization is more the natural process. Like, I feel like I'm definitely a more optimal version of an ENTP than I used to be. I'm more in touch with my FI. I'm I'm about the same with my SI, frankly. I mean, as I've gotten older, I can handle less SI abuse on myself, but um, I don't think I don't remember. Have I showered since Rachel left? I don't know. I might have showered once since Rachel left. So, my SI is still kind of iffy. I'm not very stinky right now. The thing is, of course, I I I would have showered for sure if it were like summertime and it was hot, but it's cold now. I just whatever. I've been feeling gamey and yeah, and wanting to rest the last couple of days. Feeling kind of moist, kind of like this underlying missing Rachel thing that's going on that I don't really pay a lot of attention to most of the time, but it kind of bothers me a little bit. I'm joking, right? What do you mean? About what? About your poo? No, I never joke about poo. Is NI the searching for a singular answer or truth? I behave like meow because meow? Or I have a headache and meow is the reason? I think that's NI. Yeah, I'd say so. Uh, Thoughts on INTP ENFJ relationship compared to INTP ESFJ? Well, I don't think INTP ENFJ would work because the problem is uh, the ENFJ is going to be using NI as a tool function, and NI is countervalued by the INTP. And the INTP is going to be using NE as a tool function, and NE is countervalued as a 6 slot by the ENFJ. So I think that's going to be a problem. And then I think additionally, that third slot SI of the INTP is going to require a lot of homebodiness. ENFJ, ESFJ is happy being a homebody provided there's enough people around. If you've got a big family or something, they don't need to really go out. ENFJ, not so much. They need to go out and do a lot of shit. They got that third slot SE that's going to run starkly afoul of the INTP's seventh slot SE. And concurrently, the third slot SI of the INTP is going to run starkly afoul of the seventh slot SI of the ENFJ. So I would say that's not a good relationship. I say stay away from that one. INTPs and ENFJs. If you don't know if you showered in 2 weeks, that would be a mental problem for sure. Well, I mean, that assumes that keeping an ongoing record of one's showers is, in fact, a prerequisite to good mental health. I guess I'm thinking of more important things. Sorry, Goss. But if that's how you diagnose people's mental health and you pathologize people that quickly, well, you know what that sounds like? Sounds like you have a mental problem. Do you think typology is good for choosing careers or more trouble than it's worth? I mean, I don't know about good for choosing careers. Most people sort of fall into shit. They don't really choose careers, I guess it's better than nothing. I think it's significant in relationship compatibility. So it's like if you were going to choose a job based on what type the boss is, that would make sense. Of course, that's kind of an FE frame as well. Yeah. I'm sure I probably have. I don't know how long ago exactly Rachel left. I'm sure I probably showered at least once since she left, but I haven't in a few days. Every time I go into the house and think about taking one, then I'm like, oh, but then I gotta take this. Oh, man, I'll take one tomorrow. No, there's no urgency. I'm fortunate in that I'm just basically not a very smelly person either. I'm not a very sweaty or smelly person. INTJ, ENFP, the stereotypical match. BS isn't the same as lack of mental health. Okay, so you're acknowledging that your BS about my lack of mental health was BS. So my accusation that your BS is indicative of bad mental health is BS as well. Is that what you're saying? I'm the same way I'm starting to sweat more as menopause approaches. Hmm. Ghost Rose, you can enjoy my bullshit from timeout. Okay. You sit there in the corner and you enjoy my bullshit. Since you're biting the hand that's feeding you the bullshit you enjoy so much, you have to enjoy it from timeout now. Howdy, Christopher Moody. How are you? Hi, philosophical thinker. I know the feeling at Noah McFarland. I'm too fluent with some things, though. Some things. High stack SI is undeniable for me, though. High stack SI. This in this Coca-Cola cup is, McDonald's cup is Coca-Cola. What else do you get from McDonald's but a large Coke, of course? They're the most delicious of the Cokes. No Diet Coke. No Diet. Ew, ew. Diet Coke drinkers, may I just say, your taste buds are wrong. Mm-hmm. High five, Zaylen Black. Pew. Diet Soda sucks team. Go Diet Soda sucks team. Who wants Diet Soda? Who wants to drink that? You know who drinks Diet Soda? My dad. He drinks a shit ton of Diet Coke. It's fucking awful. As soon as I taste one sip of it, I'm like, I gave me diet. Oh. It's awful. It's just like Zaylen Black says. The word is blech. They are objectively, their taste buds are objectively 100% wrong. You have Sprite. Coke does sound better. From McDonald's, of course. McDonald's is the home of the world's best Coke. McDonald's fountain drink Coke, that's the best Coke. That's the number one Coke. Here's the thing, MC Drama Bear. I don't like drinking sugary drinks from a can either. The proper way to get Coke is over ice in a cup from McDonald's with a straw. Is the polar function literally unusable, or can you use it but just in an unconscious, lazy way by taking the path of least resistance? I mean, I would say that it's ill-advised to attempt to use it at all. When I do look to my feelings to make decisions, I typically make poor decisions. I'm much wiser evaluating things without my feelings. If I'm, it's just, I'm best served to make disinterested calculi. What I get from FI is an absolute value. That is to say, I experience feelings as either happy, good feeling or sad feeling laughing or crying, or anger. Those are the three feelings. And yeah. Yeah, it kind of was like having a headache a little bit too. Diet root beer is just throw it in the garbage. Just take that diet, whatever, and just throw it directly in the garbage. Would you talk a bit about the differences in ISFP and INTJ? It's a good question, Rowan Morgan. There are probably a fair amount of ISFPs who identify as INTJs. Like, first of all, there's also probably a fair amount of ESFPs who self-identify as INTJs because they do have the same functions. They're in the same quadra, and they want to be they want their identity to be matching up with some positive descriptions of a type that they've read. They would like to perceive themselves as, or they do perceive themselves as, these kind of highly intelligent, intellectual people, but they're burdened with the curse of the ESFP, more so than for any other type, is the what's it called? What's that phenomenon called when people who are Dunning-Kruger? They've got like permanent Dunning-Kruger syndrome because their TI is so weak and they're so non-metaphysical. The fact that ideas and words sometimes determine things conclusively by themselves, that any concrete whatever, that can be a challenge for them. Dunning-Kruger syndrome, So that's the thing about ESFPs self-identifying as ENTPs or INTPs, or I've seen, we have one on the channel self-identified as an INTP, which was clearly an ESFP, and INTJs and whatever. It's just for the fact that they've got NI that's self-serving where it's absolute, and seeking where it's utilitarian. And you've got TI polar. You're really going to have an almost adversarial relationship with any notion of the metaphysical world being determinate about things. For an SI polar person, would they still remember things though? Like, I guess their memories would just crop up every once in a while. Is their handicap not being able to have a giant map of memories? All right. Well, I mean, they don't remember. They can't. Look, they'll remember that they've had a number of fights with their wife about how she thinks that he's too abrupt on the phone, that he needs to be more FE conscious, basically. And that it's something that they've exchanged little bicker back and forth for about 10 times before, at least. And you ask them, can you give me an example of it? They'll say, well, it's just, it's like we always blah, blah, blah. I say, no, but can you give me a specific example? When's the last time this happened? Or a time this happened? You remember any specific time this happened? They won't be able to put together specifics. Well, let's remember the takeaways. Now, we all experience some phenomena that are like that. I might remember that I didn't, let's say it was a long time ago that I saw a movie that I didn't like. I might remember that I didn't like the movie while not remembering why I didn't like the movie. So that's an example of NI. The takeaway being remembered, but the specifics not being remembered. So it's just that for SI polar people, it's always like that. The thing is, Alan Block, I've noticed before that ISFJ's memories are, they're not very accurate. And SI is not SI is not more of an ability to remember things. That's incorrect to think. It is instead paying attention to stuff that's already happened. It's like, what are you paying attention to word wise? Words you've said before. So you'll develop a repository of stories about the past, things that happened. The memory of what actually happened becomes a story for an ISFJ. Yeah. The other thing is, typically, ISFJs will remember things like smells. They'll be very much prone to saying things like, this place smells like that other place. It smells like that time we were in blah, 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 or whatever. When an ISFJ is looking around the world and seeing things, they are looking backwards at the same time, finding reference points from the past that are relevant. Do you think your channel would disproportionately interest certain types? Yeah, for sure. I would say that intuitives in general are going to be more interested in typology than sensors in general. The exception types being ESTP and that's really about it for the sensors. Well, there's some ISFJs who are into typology too. So, but the main types that are into this channel probably are INTPs, INFJs, INFPs, some ENFPs, ENTPs, INTJs. Did I say INTJs? And that's about it. Those are the main ones. I seem to have some ISFPs around too, and a few ESFPs. I don't know, but I think I attract more TIFE than FITE as well. Although, I've got some loyal INFPs who stick around despite my periodically disappointing them. Of course, as their supervisee, they're INFPs who spend time around me will find themselves shaking their head plenty and going, yeah, I think Shreddy's one as well. Which type likes to travel the most? My dad loves to travel. He's an ESTJ. But I think that makes sense. Probably ESFJ would like to travel a lot too. The third slot, NE, for ESTJ makes a lot of sense because it's like the most physical manifestation of NE ever, right? What's physical manifestation of NE is going to new places, seeing new things, literally having new sensory experiences is sort of I guess it probably feeds my dad's innie, gives him stories to tell about what he's done. NESI kind of shit, you know? But I think ISFJs are prone to travel as well. I think ISFJs prefer to stay home. But, my mom got dragged all over the place by my dad. She liked to travel some. It was funny today in the car. My dad was talking about the swap meet they used to go to. And he said, boy, your mother really loved that swap meet. And, I just couldn't help it, just burst out laughing. My mother hated the swap meet. My dad would bring home shit every weekend from the swap meet. And my mom would be like, David, just can you please not bring me any more stuff? And my dad remembers it as my mom loving the swap meet because he cited this example of, well, there was Big Jim, and Big Jim, he had all these good stuff. He had this kind of name brand product and this kind of name brand product, like Polish crystal and some sort of French cutlery that he named, And Jane and the whole English department went down there, and they got so basically one time out of all these years of going to the swap meet every Saturday, and every Saturday bringing Morris Mumbler, stop making me laugh in the middle of sentences. It's like my dad just bringing shit home, right? That my mom didn't want. Like, he'd always bring her more cookbooks. I don't need another cookbook. I don't want another cookbook. But this is a great one, Jane. You don't have this one. And my mom hated this swap meet. She did not want his crap that he brought home every weekend. But my dad remembers it as my mom loved the swap meet. Isn't that weird? You hurt the INFPs FI by talking about their mom's faces all the time while also activating their defensively tactical FE. Fourth slot SE does like adventure but won't admit it. I don't admit it sometimes. Rachel, how much adventure do you like? Rachel and I were talking today, in fact, our current plan, and I think it's actually a great plan for fourth slot SE and for eighth slot SE, is that in about a year or so, a little less maybe, we'll see what mom's schedule is like, to get an RV and begin driving across country and meeting with random people from the channel, making videos with them, going on to the next place, etc., etc. And that seems like a perfect solution for us. She can still sort of retain her formal New York address and continue getting her medical stuff in New York. We don't have to worry about paying rent because we'll have an RV. We'll just live there. And then, if we need to crash out at a house someplace, we can come back here or whatever. And we are going to we are going to have a lot of adventures. We're going to have a lot of not draining, not excessive adventures. See, I think the thing about fourth slot and eighth that's similar is you want it on your own terms. You don't want it on anybody else's terms. So for me and Rachel, SE, we share that 7 Enneagram kind of approach to it. I get it that sometimes you just want to lie in the hotel room and watch TV, and that's totally fine. There's no reason you got to go do some stupid shit, Same thing with the RV. Sometimes you just got to go park it someplace and crash for a couple days, probably, Make that your new home and drive around that little town or whatever. ride your bikes. We got bicycles to put on the RV, and it'd be cool. I'll be able to begin campaigning for president while meeting with people for the channel, making videos, visiting all over the country, different states and stuff. It'll be wonderful. Rachel and I have such a good time. It sounds perfect, Rachel, doesn't it? It's like, she and I already spent 3 months in tight quarters here. This is about the size of an RV. RV has a bathroom at least. And yeah, it's like use a good camera editor. Well, I got my new camera on my phone. On my new phone is great. We will have a lot of great content. And it's gonna be fantastic. I got that to look forward to. And Rachel does too. And it makes this long distance part of the relationship quite bearable. I guess we sort of decided on this as the plan today. It was kind of up in the air as a possibility or something before. I think we now have a formal plan in front of us. No, we'll probably buy one. Probably buy a used one. I would like to get a decent sized one because I want to be reasonably comfortable, but I also don't want to get one of those massive buses kind of thing because, there's always the possibility that I could get a smaller one and tow a car behind me. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting question. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with the RV thing yet. It's like obviously I have to save some cash, and wouldn't hurt to save some cash. I probably could manage to get an RV anyway. I'm a little bit spoiled, I guess you'd say. Anywho, the point is, I'd save some money. Might have to sell the Mini. I don't know. Or might want to sell the Mini to put in more money for it myself or something. But to me, World 3 is about to bust up. Might as well. Hey, look, everybody. Look who's here. It's King Krishna Sarmabagoo. King Krishna Sarmabagoo. She's here to put poo on my shoe. King Krishna Sarmabagoo. So I don't know if you guys heard, but King Krishna Sarmabagoo is here. Anyway, we're chatting about driving around the country. Correct. Correct, Noah McFarland. So the thing is, hopefully I can become president in time. Don't buy an RV. Their value over time is shit. You want to camp. They retain very well, value very well. Check out Peak Mountain Camps. RV equals tent with a motor. A camp is a compact house you can tow with a pickup. Okay, I'll check it out. I mean, I could rent an RV in theory, I guess. But I expect if you're renting one for a long ass time, then I'd be worried about RV repairs as well. I'm sure it's very expensive to repair an RV. Um, I'm aware of the fact that RVs have their own sets of expenses and problems, and you've got to, they're going to use a lot of gas and yeah. But at the end of the day, it seems to me that like, for example, we get Airstream or something. Airstreams Airstreams seem nice, right? You got to tow them, or there's the kinds you drive too, right? A house that travels by balloons. That's a great idea. We could hot air balloon around the country. What is time? Hold on, I gotta answer philosophical thinker on what is evil first. Um, Evil's like porn. Easy, hard to define, but easy to recognize. I want to show you guys a picture of this place. There's a restaurant near my house. Please come inside the Young Ho restaurant. I used to love it when you unlock the airship in FF as it opened the whole world up. I'm hoping for everyone's safety. I'm hoping for everyone's safety too. What are you worried about, fitness and bodybuilding? Are you worried about the rising international tensions? I mean, I think that Cameron's has a bit of that going on. He's an SI Dom. It's probably SITE. It's a combination of being hyper SI aware plus wanting to frame everything as a problem to solve or a goal to attain. So David Sanderson says, what is time? Well, Time is the I guess you could say it's the medium through which agency travels. Just as air is the medium through which sound travels, time is the medium through which agency travels. Probably the best answer. What is true is what is useful, pragmatic theory of truth. I mean, it's not really a theory of truth. It's a theory of, it's a frame. It's a frame that says utility subsumes truth. Right here on Talking with Fitness People. There's a lot of experts around. You gotta go to the raw room. Probably something in there. I don't know. I don't know how worthwhile that is in there anymore or not because I don't go around there anymore. But oh, Angus here. I became a fan of that channel, living big in a tiny house hosted by that Kiwi guy. Forgot his name. Little House Man, I call him. There are mostly as introverts. Well, you might meet an extrovert or two in there. Yeah, introverts get along with each other too. In fact, they probably get along better with each other because they're not extra always raw jawing their ear off. For those who don't know the address to it, let me get it. Here's the Mia. I mean, if every word we use to describe an event doesn't really exist in the world as a concept, can we really say there's a mapping between description and reality at all? I don't understand the. Yeah, thank you. I don't understand the question. Please, I'm interested in the question though. I'm interested in what you're talking about. I want to understand the question. Hi, Octavio Silva. We're glad you caught the stream. I gotta try to have time tomorrow. I should. There's one thing I gotta do tomorrow. But I want to make sure Rachel and I make a video tomorrow, hopefully, because she looks a lot different. She got dark hair now. Looks good. How long does it take to build up tolerance to Adderall? Do you find you can keep taking the same dose and definitely get effect? It takes about a week. And the answer is no. That's why I binge and purge. I mean, I had a conversation with one zinc. And he told me that the words we use to label objects in the world are just conceptual abstractions, that the actual things we're referring to don't exist. I mean, I guess his reasoning is probably something along the lines of that because the reality, because it appears we share one reality, but the fact is there are no realities that aren't the that don't comprise the whole of an individual. So in other words, I have my reality, you have your reality, et cetera, right? The problem with this is just because observation is a critical component in the whole matter doesn't render things observed not themselves real. So it's a mistake to think this. Look, here's some basic rules of reality, so to speak. In the physical world, you've got distinct objects. Their distinction as objects both enables and is rendered significant by the ability to describe those distinctions and thus create a metaphysical world that's essentially a map of the physical. And you might say, but the physical world only exists insofar as it's observed. Well, that's not a foregone conclusion exactly. There's a number of ways you can explain the way shit works. I could. Or Tumblr, I could do that. Oh no, it's not very good, not very interesting, usually. But for people who want to sort of collapse down all meaning into mush, I mean, if that person's argument is correct, we should pay no attention to it. It's mush. It doesn't mean anything. It's made out of these words that he's rendered meaningless. It's just bad logic. He wouldn't win the debate against me. People who want to collapse all the way, so to speak, are well, he doesn't have to believe anything like a distinct object, but he relies on the distinction between objects to make his point. So that's why his point collapses. He doesn't need to believe in the distinction of objects. He's drawing distinctions. He's drawing the distinction between his own position and yours, for example. That's what he's doing. Now, he doesn't have to believe in it to do it, but he is doing it, and he's engaged in faith-based behavior. That is to say, he's sort of stating a mantra of paradox or contradiction. He's saying, I draw a distinction between you. There is no distinction between you. I draw a distinction between you. There is no distinction. He's doing that. It's just like, it's silly. Well, I mean, the thing is, one thing that makes it clear that mostly we see the same color when we look at things is that dress that people saw as different colors, depending on something having to do with your meow in your eyes or whatever. It's pretty solid proof that, in fact, normally we do see things as the same color. So, that's how we know why this guy is, because of that dress. Because there is an example or two where we don't see it as the same color. And those examples are dramatic and appalling to everybody because, it kind of proves what we normally do. Well, sure. I mean, but we're used that's not any surprise here. It's like, I can take any image and shift the hue and whatever and see different colors pop into place. The fact that when I put on sunglasses, things look different. The fact is that during different times of day, the different quality of light, colors look different. We see that all the time. There's nothing surprising about the fact that colors are not constant, but rather uh, experiences of the interplay between light and objects. It's green, greenish, bluish, and gray. I don't know, like aqua, like what's that stuff called? What's that stuff that Indians make jewelry out of called? The bluish rock. Mexicans make stuff out of jewelry out of it too. What's that shit called? Why can't I remember what it's called? Especially the T. Well, the thing is, there is a way to tell if our reds are subjectively the same, sort of, you know? Like, if in fact, turquoise, thank you, Horst Swanberg, that's what I was looking for, turquoise. It's kind of turquoise and gray. Does somebody else see it as a different color than that? Salmon? Well, that's cool. Some people actually see it as salmon colored. The shoe is not pink and white. It is turquoise and gray, obviously. There's only one shoe. I mean, one shoe, the other shoe. Oh, so yeah, I know we can color things. Click the second link. Okay. Yeah. Those are two different shoes. I mean, it's the same shoe with two different colorings. Your mom's face is also pink and white, Octavia Silva. David Sanderson. That's silly. You're being silly now. You're making silly jokes. Bruce Wayne, his glow in the dark suit does not prove any point. Eric, would it be true to say that TE knows how to affect change physically while FE knows how to affect change socially? Uh, yeah, I'd say so. Not unfair. Salmon scales can be, and sometimes are, bright pink. I saw in a documentary that the Turks of the Ottoman times wanted girls to have salmon smooth and soft texture, simultaneously having the salmon tightness of the skin. What? What? Yes, I remember that. That's what I started. That's what started this talk. I don't remember what I saw it as. I think I saw it as black, and I don't remember. Sometimes people in the chat can be a little bit confusing. You know who's really confused? That guy in that song by Radiohead. What am I doing here? I don't belong here. That guy, he's got no idea what's going on. You're not confusing, David Sanderson. You are unconfusing. You're clarifying, like Oil of Olay's wintergreen freshness clarifying gel. So all Turkish girls will be slightly sunburnt. There's nothing sexier than sunburned Turks. Nothing sexier in the world than a sunburned Turk. He hated that song. Which song did he hate? Nothing sexier than a sunburned Turk. Sunburn my Turk a bit, please. I'm planning on humping her later. Sunburn my Turk. I'm gonna hump her later. Sunburn my Turk. I'm gonna hump her later. Eric, do you prefer movies or TV shows? Probably movies, I guess. I don't know. I like watching movies with Rachel. She showed me a good TV show. We watched the Naruto together. Kind of want to watch some more Naruto. I'm really looking forward to season 3 of Cobra Kai, which is a YouTube original. That's just bad AF in the good sense. That's how good it is. It's bad. It's like, ooh, that's bad. Like Michael Jackson bad. Girls are a product of natural selection, so they will look as they are bred to look. I mean, that's true of males as well. Yeah, it is fun. Rachel, you and I enjoy watching shit together. We like the same stuff. It helps. Helps a lot. We just got really good taste in media. That comes along with being INFJ. It's true of males, but they always find a way around natural selection. Well, yeah, I guess what you're saying, David Sanderson, is that, you know, the world is such that I can be perceived as attractive to women. Whereas the equivalent would not be perceived as attractive to men. You know, it's an unfair world, I guess. But I'm the happy beneficiary of it because I have an attractive young girlfriend. You know, what are you gonna do? It's not. I mean, it's the same for everybody. You get one chick. I'm happy that I got an attractive young one. She's not too young either. You know, she's gonna be only 13 years younger than me pretty soon. She's gonna be 35. Fortunately, she's not going to get any dick for her birthday this year. I was planning on giving her my dick in a box. My dick in a box, girl. If you guys haven't seen Dick in a Box, please do enjoy one of the finest songs of all time. Here you go. Rachel, I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to give you my dick in a box for your birthday. But, you know, let's talk seriously about Bye, Ken Christian Summer Pagoo. We're going to find a holiday soon where I am going to give you my dick in a box. What's another holiday besides Valentine's Day? Here's the thing. She's going back down to New York the day before Valentine's Day. So no dick in a box on Valentine's Day for you. Now, what's another? Is there an Arbor Day or something? I want to see holidays in January and February. There's President's Day. Thank you, Mr. Lincoln, for setting us free. Boy, I wish you guys. I want everyone out there to take a good long viewing of that classic film, Holiday Inn. What am I looking for again? I'm looking for something. Oh yeah, I know what I'm looking for. I'm not going to YouTube. I'm looking for holidays in January and February 2020. All right, we got your Martin Luther King's Day. Dick in a box. Dick in a box, girl. That's January 20th. I don't know if you're going to be able to get Dick in a box on Martin Luther King Day. February 17th, President's Day. My dick in a box. Let's see. After that, the next holiday is not until Memorial Day. These are federal holidays. Forget federal holidays. I want, all holidays. All. Okay, Kitty, I'll let you in. All holidays 2020. We've got a lot of holidays. Holidays and observances. I want the observances as well. So look at this. We've got a lot of opportunities now that I've included the observances. Okay. For example, this upcoming, what day is it today? Oh my God, do you know what today is? It's Orthodox Christmas Day. Today is Orthodox Christmas. Merry Orthodox Christmas. Rachel, if I were in New York right now, I'd give you an Orthodox Christmas present. It would be my dick in a box. I'm gonna pass Horse Mumbler on your hand-me-down dick casting kit. If all men painted their dicks green and sit naked next to a cat, will the cat get spooked? Huh. What? All right, let me see other holidays and observances. So, January 13th, it's Stephen Foster Memorial Day. Who's Stephen Foster? January 14th, Orthodox New Year. Do you know that January 17th is Lee Jackson Day? It is. January 17th is Lee Jackson Day. And to remember Confederate leaders Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. It's celebrated on the Friday before Martin Luther King Day. How fun. Robert E. Lee's birthday is a state holiday in Florida on January 19th. Confederate Heroes Day is a state holiday in Texas. And Robert E. Lee's birthday is celebrated on the 20th in Alabama and Mississippi. Oh, you know what? January 20th is a big day. It's also Idaho Human Rights Day. It's a state holiday in Idaho. It's also, January 25th is Chinese New Year. Do you know that January 29th is Kansas Day? Good old Kansas Day. It's just an observance. Where is it observed? Kansas Day has been observed annually since 1877. Kansas residents celebrate their state's birthday, but it's not a public holiday. February 1st, National Freedom Day. Ooh, February 2nd, Groundhog Day, my dick in a box. You're going to get my dick in a box on Rosa Parks Day. That's February 4th. National Wear Red Day. National Wear Red Day. As a symbol of support of women's heart health. Oh. Well, Rachel, sweetie, you know what you're going to be receiving for National Wear Red Day? That's right. It's my dick in a box. Also, because we're going to be together for National Wear Red Day. And we're also going to be together on February 10th for Tu Bishvat, Tu Bushavat. It's a Jewish holiday. You're going to get my dick in a box. Good news, I'm circumcised. Chinese New Year is the 25th. Where Red Day has to do with women's menstrual cycles? You go, girl. You go. It does have to be a red box for Wear Red Day for sure. Imagine having a Protestant dad and an Orthodox mom that were divorced. You get 2 birthdays, 2 Christmases. You'd also get 2 New Year's because Orthodox New Year is January 14th, which means 2 New Year's Eves. I wonder if they've got Orthodox Halloween. Like you get 2 candies. Daisy Gatson Bates Day. Daisy Gatson Bates Day is a public holiday in Arkansas. Civil rights leader. Linus Pauling Day. Linus Pauling Day he was a scientist. He got 2 undivided Nobel Prizes. Well, for Linus Pauling Day, Rachel, you will be receiving my dick in a box. What's Casimir Pulaski Day? Casimir Pulaski Day is a legal holiday in Illinois in the United States on the first Monday of March. It celebrates the birthday of Casimir Pulaski, a Polish-born soldier who contributed to the United States independence. Huh. Good old Casimir Pulaski. We've got Seward's Day. Seward's Day in Alaska on March 30th. Let's see. National Library Workers Day. That's a good day to receive my dick in the box. So many different holidays. If you'd like to know yourself all the different holidays and observances this year coming up so you can celebrate them all, you should require your work to give you every single one of these days off, by the way. Every single one. Do you have like a website where you sell your stuff for Smallboard? Hello, hi, good evening. Nicole Che, yo, as well. I'm going to reciprocate your yo with a yo right back at you. I think sensors were the cause of my childhood nightmares. Are you sure it wasn't ghosts? Email me a shipping address and I'll send you a set of shiny hammered copper. Depressed INTP? Who's this depressed INTP you're talking about? Is it yourself or somebody else? You never get a day because he's intellectual, more cold-hearted, dig with arrogance, absolutely stupid INTP should go into IT or do something useful with his brain. What's going on with David Sanderson? Meow, meow, meow. Are you feeling pretty meow now, David Sanderson? I'm sorry you're feeling meow. Oh, wait, you're talking about an intuitive. Well, you know a person who does that. Yeah, where you're being all, chop busting. Sure. All right, fine. Vent away. Vent like, something that puts air out of a building. It's pretty funny. Mm. It's interesting. I want to know who this person who there's this person who commented on one of the videos that has Rachel in it, Jay Red. Who is this person? Like the last comment says, dear friend, when I had my episode, they put me on trazodone too to help me sleep a lot. These videos show me you're doing better. I'm always here. I'm waiting for your call. Love you. He took down one of the comments. He had this for too. He took it down. Glad you're not pregnant. That would hurt coming out of you. Besides, I said I would. Remember? I see that look in your eyes. Your love. You gave me it too once. I missed that. I've never been the same since. Love you. And I put a response saying, who are you, an ex-boyfriend of Rachel's? And he deleted that comment. But it's still underneath my bell so I could see it. Would you ever go out with anybody named Jay? He didn't write that. He did not write that. I mean, definitely what was indicated in the quote was that could be just troll. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of it. Could be a troll. Could be somebody who's got a less than complete, handle on reality or whatever. Yeah, people will try for sure. I'm aware of that. It doesn't really It doesn't really bother me. But the thing is, here's the deal. If it had been a troll, he wouldn't have deleted that comment when I asked him, "Who are you, an ex-boyfriend of Rachel's?" Instead, the person deleted that comment. So if it were a troll, the troll would have been delighted with me asking that. Somebody tried to pick up on her on Instagram too. We had her ex-boyfriend or actual ex-boyfriend in the live chat one time. I mean, I don't think I overthink it too much. It's I don't worry about it. I'm not worried that Rachel is going to be susceptible to that stuff. And so I'm not very prone to jealousy because I don't think that she's susceptible to that, really. So, it's still something I'm going to check on. Obviously, if somebody's positioning themselves as once having been in a relationship with Rachel, then I'm going to figure out what's going on. But I suspect that person is either oh yeah, I'm really not worried about it at all. I'm not worried about Rachel. I nevertheless want to sort of keep tabs on who's sniffing around, but just as a general bit of sort of good operating procedures. Rachel does an excellent job of convincing me that I don't have anything to worry about and that we're on the same page. I'd like to think I do an excellent job of convincing her as well. I mean, here's the factor that you guys toss into the mix here. That when I asked a question on that one comment, he deleted the comment. So it's probably not a hater, and it's probably not it could be somebody who's disconnected from reality a bit. Sounds like maybe they are, but probably not a hater. And also something I'm curious about. Huh. I see how it is. Horse mumbler. I want to come visit you. Dead silence. No response at all. But Countess wants to come visit you. And it's like, oh, well, I'll have to show you around. Here's the glass blower. Are you fucking kidding me? Just because I don't have a vagina, horse mumbler, doesn't mean we can't hang out. I cannot believe it. I feel so insulted. You want to hang out with Countess, but not me? And be honest, horse mumbler. Is it because you think you're gonna fuck her? I think that probably has something to do with it. You did? No, I said, where do you live? Arizona. And I was like, oh, I'll come visit you. And I didn't see any response. I didn't see any response from you at all in the live chat. I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't want me to go. Oh, okay, my bad, horse mumbler. I just missed it, I guess. I thought you were giving me the let me down easy. You're just like, I'm just not going to respond to that so he doesn't get his feelings hurt, you know? Um, so, okay, cool. I do want to go to Arizona then. I'll come visit you for sure. What I want to do is come visit you and get one of your copper things, buy it off of you, and send it to Rachel for her birthday present. But it's going to be too late. Well, I don't know what happened, Horseman. I could have sworn you didn't reply. My bad. Yeah, definitely come to Arizona. That's easy, squeezy to go to Arizona. What do I want from Singapore? Illegal drugs. You got some of those around there, don't you? I don't know. What is Singapore famous for? Anything? Singaporean rice noodles or something? Singapore brand. Bring me some Singapore brand cigarettes. What we should do. Like Singapore's finest. Singapore brand cigarette. You have CNY treats. What are CNY treats? Yeah, like what's a we'll have to figure out what a brand of popular cigarettes in Singapore is. Hey you guys, participate in No Nut November. Oh wait, that was 2 months ago. No, I don't participate in No Nut November. That's crazy talk. It's called Bad Prostate Health November. Like Hambone, I am constantly nutting all over the place. No, it's not that hard, but it's not that good for you either. It's bad for you. Your prostate needs to constantly nut. I want to get caned. What's a crime that's punishable by caning? That'd be crazy to get caned. I want my sexual punishment from the island of Singapore. Do they strip me down naked before they cane me? There's got to be a fairly small crime that has a punishment of exactly 10 canings and nothing else. Vandalism, huh? I might be up for a little vandalism if it would get me a light caning. I mean, I, I mean, it's coming up fast. The thing is January 16th. I will email you her address if you email me. So I have your email address. So I can email you back. I'll email you her address. I don't want to say it on this channel here. Rachel's in New York City. Yeehaw. She lives at #1 Trump Tower, New York City, penthouse. Where do they cane you? I want to know more about this caning. Do they cane you on your ass? It seems like a highly sexualized criminal justice system. Do they also? I mean, why don't you start with spanking? Okay, I want Singapore to have a spanking punishment before caning. Caning is stepping it up a bit, you know. First, spank the person. Yeah, people pee on. Yeah, nipple twisting. You're gonna have all kinds of fun punishments in Singapore. I don't know. Well, I mean, they need more than a spanking, obviously. But you know, you start with spanking. It should be nipple twisting, caning, um, forced motorboating, forced motorboating. Hmm. So yeah, I'm interested in the Singaporean criminal justice system now because I didn't know it's so perverted. Perverted. Perverted Singaporean prisons. Um, old men kiss you all over for 10 minutes. That sounds awful. I'm tired. It's only 7 o'clock. Oh, a set theory logic question. Do you know what the symbol U means? U for union? Not sure. You have to. No. Did I see Shrek 5 in the theaters? There's a Shrek 5. I still want to know why developing a sense of self is a valuable thing. Oh, that question. Better than the alternative? It's like, I mean, you have some capacity to experience things deeply and meaningfully in life. And you have some capacity to just sort of slide through life cheap and easy. It seems the former is better than the latter. But, there aren't really any universal positive moral indications. So there's that. There's that fart that I just made. That means a lot. It says a lot by saying a little. Doesn't say much, and that really says a lot. Okay. I have got to lie down. I'm super tired. I'm going to touch base with Rachel after I leave this, though. So, a fart does speak 1,000 words. At least 1,000. Good night, everybody. Rachel, I'll call you in a minute.